Hey folks, welcome to my 500th video. And we're just shy of 4,000 subscribers. So I'm properly humble and grateful for all of that and your kind comments and such. Here we have a kilt which has been brought to me for alteration. It's a bit too big for the gentleman. And it has some nice features. It's beautifully hand sewn. That's got to be 12 stitches per inch at least. And some very nice, not sure if they're actually pewter, but they certainly have a nice pewter finish to them, these buckles. What I don't like, if you can see, this buckle is overlapping the buttonhole, and that's wrong. It should be back maybe an inch with my thumb, because when it's like this, when the strap comes through and you pull it tight, the cloth is going to be pulled like that, and that is going to eventually lead to a failure there. So when I do the alteration, I'm not going to replicate that. It's going to go back an inch or so. Yeah, very interesting, but also the beautifully done. There's one feature I've never ever seen before in the fringe, in that we have 3 layers of fringed cloth, but in the middle, or between the first and the second, we have 2 layers of silk or satin-like cloth, and it's an effective look. It's very striking. I don't know if I'll ever do it myself, but kudos to whoever came up with that. That's nice. And the last thing about this, which I really caught my attention, is it has pockets. You can hang down the back like that, and one on the inner apron for cell phone and wallet. And he wants to retain these things, which I fully understand, absolutely understand. I think what I'm going to do, though, is you can tuck them inside, because he wants to wear this with a Bonnie Prince Charlie, and you simply can't have the pockets there, certainly not with anything in them, you know, cell phone and wallet, when you're wearing a Charlie jacket, because it's just going to stick out the back in a curious fashion. So I'm going to think about whether I'm going to either reattach them like this, because I'm going to have to, with the alteration, the lining is going to be replaced, the canvas is going to be replaced. So I've yet to make up my mind whether I'm going to sew these things back in exactly as they are now, or if I'm going to attach them with hooks and eyes on the inside so that they can be detached and not worn on certain occasions. But I'm going to make some notes about that, because we had done something like this before. You can see it's lined with that same satin-ish cloth that we see on the fringe. So nice lining, although I would be worried about pickpockets, quite frankly, because that's very low friction. And there's an old, pardon me for a second while I reach for it, there's an old strategy that was actually taught to me by a pickpocket. You put 1 or more rubber bands around your wallet, and it increases the friction. It makes it harder for somebody to dip you, as he would say. But I think I'm not that trusting. I mean, rule 1, don't tempt people. So I think if I was going to do this, it would have a top flap and Velcro or a button enclosure, just so you didn't get dipped. Or, you know, if you're up to hijinks, your wallet or your cell phone didn't fall out and get lost. But yeah, that's a nice little feature. I'm going to make note about that, and possibly offer it in the future. Yeah, cool. Okay, I've enough of this. It's almost warm enough for me to take my authentically moth-eaten Stanfield shirt off and get some work done. Okay, we have one little moth hole there. I'm going to have to deal with that, but I'm going to have to find some silk thread of the correct color to overcast the edge of that so that it doesn't get bigger and get caught on anything. Okay, there we go. Thanks for joining me for the 500th video, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers, bye.